Good evening, everyone. We are Group 5 and we will be reporting strategy implementation. And before we start, I would like to introduce first our group and the topic we will be discussing. The first topic will be discussed by yours truly, then followed by my colleague, Ma'am Maisa Marohong Salik for culture and strategy, and then followed by Ma'am Amana Muda for operationalizing strategy, and then the last one is from our group is Ma'am Marifa Muhammad, and she will be reporting procedures in implementation. To start with, let us first define what is strategy implementation. So, according to what we have researched, it is the act of executing a plan to reach the desired goal or set of goals. The brainstorming process helps formulate these ideas, while the implementation process puts those strategies or plans into action. So, strategy implementation depends heavily on feedback and status reports to ensure that strategy is working and to rework any areas that may need improvement. So, basically, to strategy implementation means putting a plan into an action. So, for example, in a banking industry, so for example po ito since the plan or our goal is to, for example, go digital or paperless. So, to put it into action, the first thing we will do is, of course, launch a application or an app, then train staff for this new technology, and then so what we did is that we have made an action for us to reach our desired goal, which is to go digital. Next po is in strategy implementation, structure must align with strategy. Dito na po papasok yung report ko, which is matching structure and strategy. So, matching structure and strategy is a fundamental concept in strategic management, and it also emphasizes the importance of aligning an organization structure with its strategic goals to improve performance, enhance flexibility, and facilitate smooth execution. When structure and strategy are aligned, an organization can operate more efficiently and effectively achieve its objectives. So, bakit po naka-align yung structure and strategy? This is because great strategy will fail if the structure doesn't support it. So, for example, yung strategy natin is in an organization, gusto niya ma-improve yung kunyari customer banking experience. So, yung structure mo, hindi naman po pwede na yung gagawin mo lang para magpa-improve yun is kunyari, mamimigay ka lang ng leaflets. So, hindi siya aligned doon sa strategy. So, what we will do for us to support this strategy? So, yung gagawin po natin is, syempre, we will organize our teams around customer services or customer segments. So, meron na kaming customer services for wealth client, gold clients, and other retail businesses. Then, this way, each team can focus on the specific needs of their customer. And this customer-focused structure will enable us to respond more quickly to the needs of each segment, and also it will build customer satisfaction. So, yun po yung matching structure and strategy. Next po is organizational structure. So, organizational structure defines the way roles, responsibilities, and authority are organized and how information flow within the company. Structure provides a framework that helps the organization coordinate, activities and ensures that all parts work together toward common goals. So basically, uh, it only means that organizational structure, it is how a company organizes its people and their jobs so everyone knows what to do, who is in charge, and how to work together to reach goals. Next po is types of structure. So we have four types of structure. They are functional structure, divisional, matrix, and the other one is flat structure. Functional structure, it organizes teams based on functions such as marketing, finance, and operations, suitable for organizations focusing on efficiency and specialization. Um, it means functional structure organizes a company by grouping people into departments according to their specific roles or tasks. For example, um, so marketing, they are more focused on how they market the product. So finance, budgeting, and the like. Then next is divisional structure. It divides the organization by product, market, or geographic area, allowing flexibility and focus each division. So, meaning each division functions like a separate company, taking care of all activities related to its product. So, for example, si anong smartphone ba? Like, for example, si Realme. Realme wants to launch a new smartphone, so the smartphone division handles the marketing, making and selling it without needing help from the other division. So next po is matrix structure. It combines functional and divisional structure with dual reporting lines, and it is useful for project-based environments but can create complexity, meaning this type of structure is where the employees are reporting into more than one manager. So for example, in a bank, we have two managers. They are BM. They are called BM and BCM. BM means branch manager, and the BCM means branch channel manager. So this BM is more focused on the sales, and then we also have BCM, and our BCM is much focused on the operation, on the everyday and day-to-day of the bank. So we have two managers, but we share the same goal. Then everyone is working together towards the same result. Next po is flat structure. It has few hierarchical levels, encouraging open communication and agility, and it is suitable for startups or innovative companies. Meaning this type of structure design has no levels of middle management between staff and executive. For example, yung mga yung mga small retail na store. So, kunyari, si store owner, and she is also a manager. So, the manager or the owner oversees store operations, finance, and inventory. And siya na din yung nag-handle ng vendor relationship and ordering, and the like. So all team members are reporting directly with the owner. Next po is strategy. I won't dig deeper po into this topic because this has been our topic since the beginning. So, strategy is the plan or set of actions an organization uses to achieve its goals and compete effectively. Strategy can vary widely depending on the organization's objectives, market conditions, and also resources. So, meaning it is a plan developed by an organization to achieve its long-term goals. Next po is type of strategy. So we have growth strategy. It focuses on expansion through new markets, products, or acquisitions. So for example, it's opening a new store or branches, or launching new products or services, and expanding to new locations or countries. So next is stability strategy. It aims to maintain the current position, focusing on internal improvement. Meaning the business is doing well, and they only want to stay consistent. So that's the example of the stability strategy. So the next is defensive strategy. Defensive strategy involves reducing operations or divesting non-core assets to preserve resources. So this type of strategy is being used to protect the business from threats instead of trying to grow or expand. So, ginagamit lang ito kapag may mga threats sa company. For example, sa product, bumababa yung sales natin. Then, meron mga when meron mga strong competition. So, itong type of strategy, it is very common nowadays, lalo na sa mga business owners. Aligning structures with strategy ensures that the organization's internal setup supports its strategic goals, enhancing efficiency and effectiveness. A mismatch between structure and strategy can create obstacles, and it slows down decision making, and it also reduces competitiveness. So, before I end my report, think of it like structure, yan po yung building, and yung strategy is the plan to what to do inside the building. So, if the building isn't built to support the plan, things won't work well. That ends my report po, and thank you for listening.
Culture and strategy are two main pillars that determine the success and direction of an organization. Culture is about shared values, belief, and practices. Ibig sabihin, ito yung nagpapakita kung paano tayo nag-iisip, nagbibigay ng idea, nag-aak, at kung ano ang ating paniniwala or pananaw sa buhay, or kung paano tayo makisama sa isang organization. And strategy is not only about earning profit, but also about following values and making responsible actions. In other words, hindi lang tungkol sa kita ang strategy, kailangan din may malasakit sa tawad sa lipunan. And also, strategy is the roadmap or plan kung paano maabot ng isang organization yung target or goals na gusto nilang ma-achieve. In short, culture is the character of the organization, while strategy is the direction. Halimbawa na lang po, kapag ang isang kumpanya ay may mabuting kultura like honesty, teamwork, and care for others, mas madali nilang ma-implement ang strategy in a way na tama at makatao. This means that every plan or action should consider what is right and what is good for the people and the environment.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I am Amana Mumadil Moda and I will be discussing operationalizing strategy. Let us begin with defining what strategy is. So it is a plan of action designed to achieve a specific goal or solve a problem. So ang strategy is about deciding where you want to go and how you will get there. Ano ang gusto mo at papaano, ano ang way para makuha mo yung gusto mo. Parang ganun po. Now let us proceed with the meaning of operationalizing strategy. Operationalizing strategy means translating strategic plans or high-level goals into specific, actionable, measurable tasks, allocating resources, adapting organizational structures, processes, staff behavior, and etc. so that the strategy is implemented effectively in the real world. It is the bridge between the formulation and yung execution. It is like turning big plans, that's the strategy, the big plans, into clear practical actions that people can actually do in their daily work. It is operationalizing strategy is the bridge between making a plan and actually doing it. Or in other words, moving from what we want to achieve, ano ang gusto mong achieve, that's a strategy, to what we actually need to do every day or yung actions. Ano yung goal mo? Ano yung mga paraan para ma-achieve mo yung goal mo? In the public sector, operationalizing strategy is about aligning the vision, public policy, service delivery, accountability, resources, and governance so that intended public value is delivered. So, ang proseso na to is yung strategy mo ay ginagawa mong real and doable by yung nga sinaset mo yung specific tasks, responsibilities, yung timelines, and resources so that yung strategy mo, it doesn't just stay as an idea on paper, but is carried out in real life as well. Ang highlight, para maintindihan natin better, ang operationalizing strategy is yung big goals mo, yung let's say the organizational goal is you will break it down into smaller, doable steps. First, you have to set the objectives. So let's give an example of setting an objective. Aim to reduce hypertension cases in the community by 20% within 3 years. So that's the goal. Paano ito ma-achieve? Of course, dapat meron kang action plan. So, yung mga action plan mo po pwede mong mailagay yung conduct free monthly blood pressure checkups, distribute informational materials on healthy lifestyle, and partner with local pharmacies for affordable medicines. These are the smaller steps or doable steps na po pwede nyong magawa na maraming involved sa stakeholders mo para ma-achieve yung malesen yung hypertension cases. Third, you have to assign roles. So, example, yung mga barangay health workers can conduct the checkups. Si LGU pwede sila yung magbigay ng funding. Si NGOs pwede sila yung magbigay ng educational support. So, hindi lang basta isa yung involved. Maraming involved na stakeholders. Fourth, of course, allocate resources. Napaka-importante sa isang plano na merong na-available yung mga resources. Dahil kapag nagka-problema sa mga steps natin na to or sa proseso na to, pwedeng magpalya yung plano, hindi ma-achieve yung plano. That is why kailangan everyone is engaged. Nandoon si communication, maayos yung communication. Kailangan, dun sa example natin, mayroong budget for medical supplies, manpower, and training. And then, we have monitor and evaluate. Of course, you have to track the number of residents attending checkups and measure reduction in hypertension cases annually. So, in setting a goal, it's very important to have a SMART goal. Wala kasi yung magiging, kapag hindi SMART goal, hindi mo ma-measure. Walang indicator na na-achieve mo yung goal mo. So that it's very important na hindi mabawasan itong process na to. And mangyayari lang yon kapag nag-monitor ka or nag-evaluate ka sa mga ginawa mo. Your action plan is already done, then now you have to monitor and evaluate. If yung mga actions na yun is patungo ba siya or itong mga action plan na to is tama ba para ma-reach mo yung goal mo, ma-achieve mo yung goal mo. Dapat hindi lang plan A, dapat may plan B ka, plan C, and so forth. In the changing conditions, may mga pwedeng magbago. So, yung mga una mong plano is, you have proven it as ineffective, then maybe you can have another plan. Pwede ka may mga backup plans ka. Let's give another example. A company might have a big goal like become the top choice for affordable clothing. So, paano natin ma-operationalize na maging top choice for affordable clothing ang isang kumpanya? Kailangan nilang i-break down ito into smaller and doable steps. They have to set prices at a certain level, train staff to give better services, adjust their store layout, and put more budget into marketing. So makikita natin dito that everyone is involved in achieving the objective. So that would be all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I am Marifa G. Muhammad, the member of Topic 5, entitled Strategy Implementation, and my topic is about procedure for implementing annual objectives, management by objectives, reward system. Introduction. To implement annual objectives using management by objectives and a reward system, an organization must follow a structured procedure that aligns top-level goals with individual employee performance. This process is a cyclical and involves goal setting, monitoring, evaluation, and rewarding employees based on their achievements. So in implementing annual objectives using MBO and a reward system, it uses a cyclical process or procedure. Ang ibig sabihin nito is it repeat annually or periodically upang patuloy na mapabuti ang performance and alignment within organization. Tulad nitong sa picture, meron itong planning, after planning, monitoring, reviewing, and last is rating. So first na gagawin is to plan, which is gagamitin natin ng SMART goals na dapat ay align sa mga objectives ng pinakamataas na antas ng company. It must regularly check or track it upang ma-measure ang mga objectives ay being pursued effectively. Third is reviewing the goals completion at the end of the cycle. And last is rating the employees and rewarding them. Procedures for implementing annual objectives via MBO. Define and communicate organizational objectives, cascade objectives to department and individuals. Develop action plans and allocate resources. Monitor and adjust progress continuously. Last is evaluate performance and link the reward system. Define and communicate organizational objectives. The process begins at the top, where executive leadership defines the company overall strategy priorities for the year, which includes establish SMART goals, formulate organizational objectives that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART goals is an acronym to help you set goals. When creating an objective using SMART goals, we must know the answer of the following questions. What do I want to accomplish and why is it important? How much or how many or how will I know when I'm done? It is possible for me to accomplish it, and what action or resources are needed to achieve it? How does it align with broader objectives and why does it matter? What is the deadline of time frame for completion? Halimbawa nito is sa hospital. Ang aim ng hospital is ma-increase ang patient satisfaction score from 85% to 90% by January 2026 sa pamamagitan ng pag-implement ng rounding and real-time feedback survey. Ang specific tugon is to improve the patient satisfaction score. Measurable is from 85% going to 90% rather. Achievable naman is ang paggamit ng direct action like rounding or ang feedback survey. Ang relevant is naka-align sa quality standards, quality care standards. At ang time bound is by January 2026. Communicate the strategy. Clearly articulate the organization's mission and vision, explaining the why behind the chosen goal that ensures every employee understands how their work fits into the bigger picture. So in an organization, dapat clear o naiintindihan ng mga tao kung ano yung mission and vision nila, kung ano ang ginagawa nito, at sino ang pinaglilingkuran nito. Cascade objectives to department and individuals. Top-level objectives are translated into relevant, actionable goals for every department and employee. This collaborative process creates buy-in and a sense of ownership. Department goal setting. Department heads break down corporate goals into department objectives. Let's say sa hospital, overall goal is mag-improve ng patient satisfaction scores. Patient satisfaction scores nila ng 15% within a year. Tapos yan, paghahati-hatian ng mga department heads ng hospital kung paano nila ma-reach yung 15%. Sa collaborative individual goal setting, managers work with each employee to set their personal goals, ensuring they are specific, measurable, and directly contribute to departmental and organizational objectives. It is when the manager and employees work together to create a clear, measurable personal goals na sumasang-ayon sa team at organization's overall objectives. Develop action plans and allocate resources. These steps focuses on operationalizing the objectives by assigning resources and mapping out the required actions. It creates detailed action steps. Develop a concrete plan with key milestones, deadlines, and assign responsibilities for each objectives. Create a clear plan na napapaloob ang specific steps, deadlines, milestone, and the one that assign responsibilities for each task to achieve the objectives. Allocate resources. Confirm that the necessary budget, tools, training, and personnel are available to achieve the objectives. Sinisiguradong that needed budget, tools, training, and the staff are provided to successfully reach the objectives. Monitor and adjust progress continuously. To ensure objectives remain on track, organizations must establish a system for ongoing tracking and feedback. Track key performance indicators, KPIs. Use dashboards or other performance tracking tools to measure progress against. To track KPIs, use dashboard or tracking tools to measure progress based on key performance. Hold regular check-ins. Managers should meet with their employees regularly, or example, weekly or monthly, to review progress, identify roadblocks, and make adjustments as business conditions change. Managers should regularly meet with employees to review progress, address challenges, and adjust the plan kung kinakailangan. Provide continuously feedback. A steady stream of feedback helps employees understand their performance and stay motivated. Give regular feedback so that employees know how they are doing and stay motivated. Kasi pag palaging maganda ang feedback, mas lalong ginagalingan ng empleyado. Evaluate performance and link to the reward system. At the end of the review cycle, a formal performance appraisal assesses employee achievement and connect it to the reward system. Evaluate against objectives. The performance review focuses on whether the predetermined objective criteria were met. So performance review, check if set goals and criteria were achieved. Pinag-aaralan nila kung natapos ba ang task on time and achieve the expected result. Align reward with achievements. Align reward with achievement. Compensation, bonuses, and promotion should be explicitly tied to the achievement of MBO goals. Should the salary increase, bonuses at promotion is clearly connected by using MBO or management by objectives goals. Meaning, if it reach or nalampasan ng empleyado ang kanilang target, siya rin ang makakatanggap ng nararapat na award or na reward. Use diverse reward. Reward system can include monetary, like bonuses, raises, and non-monetary, like recognition, promotion, additional responsibilities, incentives. You can use the different type of reward tulad na lamang ng monetary, pagbibigay ng bonus, or pagtataas ng salary, and non-monetary, like recognition, promotion for that employee, additional responsibilities, para ma-motivate ang mga empleyado. Reward system based practices for MBO. To ensure reward system effectively motivates and align with MBO. Consider these practices. First is clear communication. Be transparent about how rewards are calculated and distributed. We need to communicate openly and clearly tungkol sa kung paano dinidetermine ang reward to ensure everyone understand the process. We must involve employees. Also, employees participate in designing the reward system. Encourage the employees to take part in creating the reward system so it's fair and motivates everyone effectively. Foster a supportive environment. MBO should be framed as a tool for growth and improvement, not just evaluation. Ang NBO ay nakafocus lang sa pagtulong sa pag-grow and improve ng people. not only on judging performance. Ang supportive environment makes it a tool for development rather than just evaluation. Automate tracking. Use software to streamline goal setting and tracking. Use software to set and track goals automatically, making the process faster and easier. So that should be all. Thank you. Once again, I am Marifa G. Muhammad. And wassalam.